Hello, everyone. Hope you guys are having a good evening. Um, Wanted to do this short little live stream. I'm not gonna stream for too long. A couple of things I want to talk about. Um, Before I dive into to the main topics. Well, actually, this is one of the main topics. I really wanted to talk about this because Tubi is really saving classic cartoons, man. Um, so I know a lot of you probably don't know this series right here, but Shaolin Showdown is going to be coming to Tubi starting March 1st. And not only this, there is a lot of classic cartoons from Cartoon Network and Kids WB, a huge catalog that's coming to Tubi. And mind you, Tubi is a free streaming platform, um, really good service. Um, I literally discovered this app, I think I want to say maybe last year, because I've been looking everywhere to watch Jackie Chan Adventures, and this is the only platform to have all the episodes of Jackie Chan Adventures. And I rewatched that series like so many times. But yeah, man, really exciting news, man. I actually want to show you guys the catalog that they're having. I see see, and since this is happening, a lot of people have been starting to talk about it. This has me worried because it requires a vast majority of all these shows for free. And then I'm just thinking, what are they planning? I feel like the more people come to visit, they're gonna start to get greedy and they're gonna start putting shit out in terms of streaming prices. But um, but yeah, I want to show you guys the catalog that these guys have, man, on their hands, because this is what they're about to be showing. So this is literally all of the shows that they're going to be showing on the that's coming to the platform next month. And just look at the list, man. It's literally classics. Like all of this shit coming to Tubi next month, man, is absolutely insane to me. I didn't even know that this is a thing that they can actually do. But you see some classics, like classic cartoons on here. Like you see Ben 10. Um, I remember. Oh, I didn't even know that show was coming to the Tubi. Codename Kid Next Door, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Cow and Chicken, Dexter's Laboratory, Ed and Eddie. Ed and Eddie is arguably one of my favorite series of all time. My favorite animated series of all times. I love this show to death. This was already my favorite show back in the original cartoon days on Cartoon Network. Um, it's absolutely crazy to me that it's coming. I hope they have the movie on there, the big picture show. I really hope that it includes the movie also. Um, Foster for Imaginary Friends, Justice League. Is it only Justice League? Will include. I wish they had Justice League Unlimited. I think it's only Justice League. Crypto the Superdog, Legion of Superheroes. Looks like they're bringing all the Looney Tunes cartoons. Mucha Lucha. More Scooby Doo stuff. Powerpuff Girls. Yeah, it looks like they're bringing all of the Scooby Doo series on here. Teen Titans. The Batman. The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. They're bringing all the Scooby Doo movies on here. Tom and Jerry. I mean, Tom and Jerry's already on there, but it looks like they're bringing all the Tom and Jerry stuff. Shaolin Showdown. I was just talking about that. Yeah, man. This is really good, man. This is really good. I was not expecting this, man. Like a lot of people are excited about this. 8 million views, 74K likes. Yeah, man. Everyone is excited for this, man. Yeah, I was just saying, they have, bro, Tubi is really saving classic cartoons, man. Cause I think I heard 2 years ago, HBO Max was the original place to watch. It was the original place to watch classic cartoons from Cartoon Network and from Kids WB, and I heard that they started to remove some of the shows on there. But Tubi I don't know how Tubi got this deal, man, but they are literally saving classic cartoons, man. I can't wait for this, man. I cannot wait for this, man. I'm gonna have so much fun on this shit, bro. Like literally everyone's excited, man. Like, see, HBO, HBO Max charges is $60 a month. Just removed all of these shows, and it's now on Tubi for free. Like, bro, I'm telling you right now, a lot of people who have HBO Max just to watch like these old cartoons, they're gonna, I guarantee you, they're going to quit their subscription and come over here, bro. Like, this is crazy. A lot of people said the reason why Tubi was able to do this is because of the Netflix HBO Max merger that's happening right now. Um, but yeah, man, like this is crazy. Like, see, like, look, they like HBO Max has removed all of the throwback cartoons of the cartoon. I don't know why. I don't know why they did this. This was a stupid move. This was such a dumb move when they did this. Like, this is one of the main reasons why people subscribe to HBO Max. Like, ever since HBO Max launched, this is one of the big reasons why people were interested in the platform because of the classic cartoons, the classic content that's in the vault of Warner and Cartoon Network. Like, this is the main reason why a lot of people subscribe to HBO Max. And now all of this is coming to Tubi for free. Like, all of it's going to be for free. Man, I don't know what the hell WB was thinking, man, but hey, Tubi got the deal for the lifetime. And the fact that I don't know how much money Tubi is worth, but the fact that they were able to get all of these properties, like they probably didn't have to pay that much to get the licenses for these. But man, this is really good news, man. I cannot wait for this. I cannot wait for this. March 1st cannot come any sooner, man. But but yeah, man. I'm really excited to watch Challenge Showdown. Um, Challenge Showdown. I've been meaning to rewatch that for a while now. I literally rewatched Jackie Chan Adventures the other day. Finished rewatching that again. But Challenge Showdown is a fucking classic, man. This show is so good, man. Like, it's so good and it's so hilarious, man. Like, I feel like a lot of people are gonna tune into Tubi now. But yeah, man, this is really exciting news. But the main other thing I wanted to talk about really quick is there's something that so this is what I want to talk about. This came out earlier. Well, this came out yesterday. This is the thing I wanted to talk about. So this was announced, I believe, last year. I believe she was at DreamCon last year and she announced this. But apparently, Meg Thee Stallion is making an anime. Well, she called it an anime. She's working with a producer who did the Boondocks, Carl Jones, and this is set to be released on Amazon Prime, which is a very, very weird spot for this to be released. I feel like this is more so like I feel like Netflix would be an easier place to grab this, but the fact that it's being on Amazon Prime was just really random to me. But but yeah, apparently this is the what the show's going to look like, and the name of it is called Hotties. Um, yeah, this is not an anime. Like, people need to understand this. This is not an anime. Just like with the Boondocks, um, Avatar: The Last Airbender, last Airbender. Those are not animes. These are not. This is not an anime. This is just a Western animated series. There are things that make anime anime. It's not just the look. You can't slap the look of something, the look of anime onto animation and call it anime. There's more to that. There's more to the flashy animation, and there's more to how the characters look, like the big eyes, all that stuff. There's more to that to call it anime. It's how the characters are. It's how the characters are portrayed, the themes that they explore. That's what makes that anime. From this, I can already tell this is gonna be Western slop. Like, just the look of it, I can tell it's gonna be Western prop. Like, a lot of Western themes in here. I can already tell from looking at it. I'm 100% certain she's going to be voicing the main character here. Not surprising. Um, I think Monte Sensei he made a good quote tweet about this. He made a good response to this. Yeah, so he made a perfectly good example response to this. He said, "Why anime going mainstream cheapens the idea of what anime is," and I 100% agree with him. Anime going mainstream cheapens the idea. Current generations are being conditioned to believe that anything that is animated is actually anime. Celebrities, influence, just see it as something to further their brand appeal. He's 100% based for this. He's absolutely correct for this. And the reason why I've been saying this for a long time too, like these celebrities, these influencers, these big streamers, they don't really care about anime. Well, I'll say they do, but they don't really care. They just use this because they know how popular it is, and they can use it to spread their spread their their brand, just like how Monte describes it here. And again, like I feel like yeah, there's gonna be an audience for it. Obviously, Meg Thee Stallion has a big following for her music. Um, Me personally, I don't really listen to her music at all, but it's just not anime. It's just an animated series. It's the same thing, same situation with the Boondocks and Avatar. Like for years now, people have been getting into arguments online about whether both of those shows are anime or not. Mind you, both of those shows were made by Studio Mir, which is in Korea, so it hasn't even been made in Japan. But yeah, like the the depiction of this, like this is what I've been saying. Like they think just because you can slap an anime label on it, they think it's gonna. They can they think it will make them more give them more of an audience response in terms of the audience checking it out. And again, like it just doesn't work like that. But we'll see how the show goes. Like I said, I think it's weird that this is going to be on Amazon Prime. It's very random to me. Like this is something more so along the lines of something Netflix would do. Like I don't think anyone. I think a lot of people found that to be like very odd that Amazon Prime was doing the show. But we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I do want to play this video from Monte Sensei. He released a really good video about this situation on what's happening with on. Well, actually, take a look at this video first. He did a video when Mega Sound first announced this last year. It's a really good video. Let's take a look.
So, Megan Thee Stallion is coming out with her own anime.
I'm about to come out with my own anime.
Quit playing, girl. I know you playing.
Megan.
I don't know why it's going so slow right now. It's going pretty decently. Just hold on, let me see if I can move back a little bit.
Stallion is coming out with her own anime.
I'm about to come out with my own anime.
Quit playing, girl. I know you playing.
Megan Thee Stallion's very own anime is on the way with help from one Adult Swim icon. You ain't never seen an anime like this.
You ain't never seen an anime like this ever in your life.
I was so naive in thinking that anime becoming popular would be to its benefit, and boy was I wrong, like horribly wrong.
It's over. We are screwed.
Where now you have everyone trying to get their hands into it to forward their own brand, which is why I say manga are now the new mixtapes when everyone wanted to be a rapper. And whenever approached by someone mentioning, hey, I rap, check out my music, it made you roll your eyes like, oh yeah, oh okay, that's cool. Devaluing any level of seriousness you take that announcement with because it became saturated with opportunists rather than enthusiasts. And it's sort of a trickling down effect that first starts with the celebrity class. Like how Shaq wanted to get into rap, making it seem like a joke.
All you jealous punks can't stop my dunks.
Then leads to the average person thinking, oh, this is something popular. Like, I watched an episode of Naruto before, maybe I should make my own manga now. And that's another thing. I am so sick of us in America referring to what we want to create as anime or manga, when really it's a cartoon or comic book that happens to be Japanese inspired. This is why I tap my hat off to South Korea and China. At least they have the respect to refer to what they do as manhwa and donghua. Even France, for that matter, labeling what they do as manfra. It's the same thing I hate when I see Netflix titling their animated projects like the Tomb Raider series as anime. It's to capitalize on the popularity of the medium slowly devaluing what the essence of anime is. Now, I'll be willing to take back this statement if it comes out later that actually she did get a Japanese studio to animate her project. And I'm talking about a real Japanese animation studio.
I mean, yeah, I agree with him. Like, if a real Japanese studio does help him. But at the same time, like, we see what they did with Lazarus. Like, Lazarus was helped with the West. So, I feel like even though if it's made with a Japanese studio, like, will it even still feel like an anime? That's the thing. Because just because it will look like an anime, will it feel like an anime? That's the real question. Because to me personally, I don't care if it's made in Japan or not. Like, there are certain themes that make an anime. And again, that's why I kind of would lean towards maybe yes in terms of if Avatar The Last Airbender is an anime, because the show and what it stands for, even certain themes and certain things that the show took us through, like, it could be argued as an anime, even though it was made in South Korea. But the Boondocks obviously know it's very, very Western oriented by watching it. And this show looks the same thing. Like, you have like the fucking fist up in the background. So it looks very Western made in terms of its themes. So, like I said, even if it's made in Japan, it just depends on like what the show is about and the themes that they explore.
Studio, not people who just moved to Japan, started a studio and call themselves such. Authenticity matters. And it's not like Megan is the sole reason of why anime going mainstream was a bad thing.
You know I suck it good, real hood.
Are you sure about that?
Though she will contribute to his downfall, which I'll get into later, but she's just part of a pattern that's been playing out for the past 5 to 7 years, arguably even more why that is. From new fans getting introduced because they saw a JJK fight on TikTok and thought, oh, this animation looks really cool, but as they watch further into the medium of different shows, they get offended by common tropes that fans have enjoyed since the beginning of anime. That's why you have these activist-minded people constantly saying anime has too much fan service and it objectifies women, and it's too mature for kids because these new fake fans still equate anime with kid cartoons, which is why Goblin Slayer caused so much outrage amongst these feeble-minded types. Now, I won't be watching this cartoon that Megan and Carl Jones, producer of the Boondocks, have curated, not necessarily because of them. I actually enjoyed the Boondocks. I think season 1 is a classic. Shout out to Aaron Magruder, the creator and writer. Many of what he says in interviews and in that show have come into fruition today, but
I feel like a lot of fans missed the point of what the Boondocks was supposed to represent. Because I literally argue like the Boondocks was a precursor to what's happening in our society now. And he was on the nose on that. That's why I consider him a genius.
It's that anything made in the West nowadays I'm not interested in. Either it's way too politically motivated, preachy, and charged to the point it makes it insufferable to watch, or it's just too infused with modern day Western culture, which I won't find entertaining at all, but just cringeworthy and world breaking, which I bet her cartoon will include both. Now you may say, but the Boondocks included social issues while being entertaining, fun, and funny. And yes, you are right. But first, this was in the mid-2000s when good writers were common and not hard to find. It's what some consider.
Exactly. Like, Western properties coming out nowadays, it's very, very hard to have a good series that doesn't have any modern Western slop in it. Like, that's why I'm just surprised how good of a show like a show like Reacher is, because then again, Reacher is based off the books, so they were going off the books, and the books were written during those times. But still, like, I'm still surprised how good that show is. But with all these cartoons, all these movies, everything is written the same type of jokes. Always trying to insert some propaganda, some stupid agenda, and it's just stupid. Like, everyone's tired of it. That's why a lot of people just turned away from a lot of Western properties. That's why Hollywood is in the position it's in right now.
Considered the golden age of television, where shows were outpacing movies, and it was no longer considered detrimental to your career if you were a movie star and decided to appear in a hit show, but actually the opposite. Second, you just won't get an Aaron Magruder nowadays. Somebody who is actually daring, willing to be self-critical, doing cultural internal critiques while also doing external ones as well. His writing is exceptional in balancing that thin line of being entertaining, wildly funny, making your stomach hurt laughing, and also making you think deeply, not just on a surface level. And third, I just don't want to see social commentary in my entertainment nowadays, particularly Western social commentary. I get that shit force-fed to me on a daily basis in every aspect of life, and I'm not exaggerating. Unless I literally lived under a rock, it's unavoidable. Every conversation from asking how are you doing somehow finds a way to divert into our modern politics and cultural ills. So the last place I want to see that is in my entertainment, which nowadays is the place where that shit gets highlighted 10x, which is why all I watch is anime nowadays, because it's made in Japan, so it doesn't have any of that shit in there. Full escapism. Now, with Megan Thee Stallion's soon-to-be released project will come her audience, which will be filled with tourists, something that anime has enough of already. Bandwagon fans like her, when asked about anime, she brings up Bleach and, of course, Naruto, which feeds into the meme itself, especially with this past Crunchyroll Awards being called the Shonen Awards that, oh, she presented at a few years back, but no surprise there. That's like my friend who was really into Dragon Ball Z and Super, but would never dare say he's an anime fan like so many today. He at least has the level of awareness that so many don't. And with her brand, she's going to bring in the type of audience that would love to see anime characters twerk and talk about their wet ass, you know. We already saw that happen to She-Hulk when she guest appeared in that, contributing to the most cringiest shit you'd ever see in Marvel, period. Now, imagine that in anime. Japan has their own unique cultural and humorous way of displaying beautiful women with fan service. And I don't want to see a blending or mixing of what we do in America corrupting that. And even though I'm not going to watch this, what worries me is that it might serve as an artificial signal boost to Japanese creators, like, oh, this is what they want, let's start injecting this into our media, as many Japanese creators already have when it comes to video games, taking the work.
And this is where the whole Netflix and Mappa deal comes into the situation, because he is right about that. I don't think every Japanese studio will go into that type of mindset. Like we heard from the director of Evangelion, we heard from sort of online creator, the creator of Mushoku Tensei. Like, they said that they're going to make content for their audience, they're not going to make content for a global audience. Anyone that tries to come in, they have to adapt to what they're doing, and I agree. And I think every creative should think like that. But yeah, man, like, I kind of understand like where he's coming from.
Word of journalists, like they speak for the fans, then surprised when they have a bad quarter because sales haven't met what journalists promised them. Which is why I make so many videos countering these journalists, because they ruined so much already. I don't want to see any modern day American shit in anime, nor want to hear any modern day American lingo in anime dialogue that these corrupt localizers are so hell-bent on doing.
They put so much of that shit in dub anime now, especially with Slice of Life series. Like, they put so much of these fucking slang and buzzwords you see on Twitter and social media. It's just so, like, disgusting when you hear it, man. It's just like you hear it and it's just like the Japanese people do not talk like this.
which is what journalists are already praising her for this move, saying things like, together they are crafting a project that's not just fan service or a vanity vehicle, it is a fresh cultural statement. This anime also marks a significant moment for representation in the medium. Black women are rarely at the forefront of anime, especially as creators and protagonists. Megan Thee Stallion's entry into
How? Anime is Japanese. What are they talking about? Who writes these articles, man?
the anime world could help shift that landscape. If successful, her series might open doors for more diverse voices in this space. And with Amazon backing the project, there is potential for wide reach and real cultural impact, which is exactly the kind of disruption Megan and Carl Jones were born to make. This whole statement has activists written all over it. This is the type of shit I'm worried about. This is what activists love to do. They love to come into a space, change it from within, and destroy it, because for them, it's a win-win either way. Now, I'm not resistant to the idea of someone in hip-hop working on anime. If you're...
One thing I don't get, too, is like, if Carl Jones is able to produce this, Amazon Prime, why can't they just continue with the Boondocks remake that got canceled a couple of years ago? Why can't they just continue with that? I feel like everybody would be more happier if they just continue with that. But then again, like, you know, John Witherspoon's not with us anymore, rest in peace. And I don't know if Aaron McGruger still wants to do it, so there is that. But I would rather them just continue with that than doing this. I think a lot of people would. If you ask a group of people what would they rather see, I think a lot of people would say the Boondocks remake.
Familiar with my music, you know I've been doing that since 2017. Like, I think RZA's contribution to Afro Samurai was huge. That whole project felt authentic. It's a reason why they chose him and not just any producer to do that soundtrack. He was, I'd say, probably the first and pioneer to even think of fusing hip hop with an Asian influence, sampling kung fu movies into what we know as Wu-Tang, before it was the cool thing to do.
That's why we called ourselves, we was like Wu-Tang forums, like Voltron. Yeah. So you watch Voltron.
Yes.
Each of the lions could fuck they can fuck some shit up, but when you need the blazing sword, everybody got to come together and form Voltron. So we took that philosophy.
There was a genuine interest there to take that risk and experiment, unsure of how people would receive it. Versus now, everyone loves anime, and it's not revolutionary to include it into your lyrics. You're just another rapper doing so. But that's all I had for this video. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. I miss the days when anime was niche, far from mainstream. I was foolish to ever think mass popularity would be best for it, but we call this living and learning, and now know when and where to gatekeep. And I think Megan will only come with more normies and casual fans wanting to see more of what she has to offer in anime, which would inevitably fuck it up.
You know I suck it good, real hood.
And if you haven't already, check out my...
Yeah, he's totally right about this. Like, I feel like a lot of people, because the big, I don't know what's worse, these anime tours or longtime anime fans who adopt this weird activism mentality. Like, for example, like there was this guy, this was on TikTok live. This dude said Mushoku Tensei would be a way better series if Rudius was in the series. I'm just like, this dude's a moron. It's like, another thing too, there's a lot of people who watch anime talk shit about certain series and they're not fans of the series. And it just makes no sense. Like, they try to critique it saying what could make the series better, and it's just like you're not even a fan. Like, so why are you even critiquing it? You know? But it just makes no sense to me. The next thing I want to take a look at is what I wanted to look at next. Before I look at any game news that's coming out soon, I want to take a look at this game that I was very excited for ever since it was announced 2 years ago, and that is Mudang. I really want to talk about this because some news came out and it's very concerning, and I think we should take a look at this.
All right, there's a developing story that I need to cover today that,
oh, he's freezing.
well, I'm not very happy with. Now, this rumor, I think... All right, there's a developing story that I need to cover today that, well, I'm not very happy with. Now, this rumor, I think, was originally broken by Need for Games, but I first saw it on this tweet here. Splinter Cell-like game Mudang 2 Hearts is rumored to be canceled. Studio reportedly facing...
Fuck! I was so excited for this game. Like, this game is a combination of Splinter Cell, Metal Gear, and Ghost Recon, man. Like, and the gameplay for this game looks so fucking good. And this is an indie studio that's making this. Like, this shit looks so good. Like, I really hope that this is not true, man, because holy shit, man, like, this game, like, and I think like 100K people wishlisted. Like, I really, really hope this is not true.
Major layoffs. I've been covering and following this game for the last year or so. It was an indie game, but not really indie from the looks of it here. It was basically a Splinter Cell inspired third-person tactical stealth action game that I thought looked fucking incredible. We've covered multiple devlogs on the main channel, and now, according to this report from Need for Games, this came out January 3rd, so literally a couple of hours ago, might be in trouble. EVR Studio facing massive layoffs. Now, the story reads, unfortunately, the Need for Games team got a hold of some very important information about EVR Studio and their game that debuted its global trailer and marketing campaign during the Xbox Game Showcase 2025. Just 1 month after this showcase, multiple people from EVR Studios were fired at bizarre times, saying that there was not enough funding. At that time, around July of 2025, the number of employees gradually decreased from 100 plus to just 22, according to a tracking...
Shit. 100 devs to 22? Shit. Damn. Is the game really dead? Like, bro, like, a lot of people were excited for this when they showed this. When did they show this? Was it the Xbox? I think it was the Xbox showcase last year. They showed this. A lot of people were excited for this. Damn. I really, really hope this game's not canceled, man. Like, this was one of my most anticipated games that I really want to get.
Site in Korea. I ain't about to even tell you what the fuck this website says, all right? But a few months later, they noticed that the official EVR Studio website has gone down. And if you click the website link, it basically leads you to a 404 through lead pages, which, yeah, if I'm being honest, that's not a great thing to see. Now, the story goes on to say that they asked various sources and people who had to do with the studio, and everyone was negative. One of the investors of EVR Studios told me that we should receive the game by the end of March 2026, and if we don't receive it, the investors will be very upset with the situation. Now, this is where I was a little confused with the reporting. An investor of EVR Studios said that we should receive the game by the end of March 2026. I can tell you, just based on the last video we got, which was almost 5 months ago, that's not a realistic time frame at all. But the reporting around this is very interesting because the last...
I don't know if that's a realistic release window. Because then again, it depends on how much. No, but they said that they fired they fired a lot of employees. So like, I don't see that as a realistic window, especially with the current staff that they have now. Like, it makes no sense. I'm sorry, like, it makes 0 sense.
Video on the EVR Studios YouTube channel was released August 15th, 2025. And the reporting in Need for Games pointed out the same thing. They used to post dev diaries once in a while. They announced the game during the Xbox showcase last June and then started to post quite frequently until August, which is about a month after apparently all of these people got around July 2025, 100 plus down to just 22. I don't know what's going on. Again, this is still a developing story. I'm waiting to see if the developers are going to come out and say anything. I'm curious if this is a situation where they were developing the game, creating a prototype. They put a trailer out during the Xbox Game Showcase to maybe try and look for funding, but it says that it has investors. I'll be honest, I don't know what's going on. The situation just appears like the studio ran out of money, which is really unfortunate because I feel like a game at this quality level with the animation work, the gameplay that we have seen, all of the behind the scenes development stuff that we've been seeing, it looked like it was going to be a high quality title. But that being said, we never really have the full picture until these games come out or until information like this drops. I'm upset. I really don't want this game to be canceled.
Bro, this game looks too good to be canceled. Like, this is not, we're not talking about a game here that's just like announced or it's just in production. Like, this game, like, I think that I would say this game is about maybe like 70% done. Like, I'm sorry, but there's too much riding on this game for just to be quietly canceled like this. Like, I'm sorry, but like I don't accept that. I'm sorry.
And there's already a lot of moving parts here. Like this report says you want to remain optimistic, and of course you do. Maybe it's just a small error and the game will get a revamp of the website or the name. But when you combine it with the layoffs, the fact that we haven't seen a devlog in 5 months, and literally let's look at the official reveal trailer from the Xbox showcase was 6 months ago, almost 7. And in the next a month following that reveal, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 devlogs or 5 behind the scenes shots, and then nothing. And it's one of those things where maybe the developers have just been working behind the scenes. They're about to enter a revamp. I don't know. When I hear mass layoffs, when I see 100+ studio drop to 22 within a month, that's not good. Again, developing story. I'm going to keep you guys up to date with what's going on here. This is a video that I wanted to post on the second channel because the rumors are still...
Yeah, this is really bad, man. Like, a lot of people were excited for this game, man. And the reason why a lot of people were excited for this is because of, I feel like a lot of people were hungry for like another game like this game, man. And it's just really sad. Like, it's really sad, man. But speaking of other games, let's take a look at what's going on with I want to take a look at what's going on with the Splinter Cell remake, because
we haven't had a true Splinter Cell game for a very long time. In fact, the last proper entry in the franchise was Splinter Cell Blacklist, which released all the way back in 2013. Since then, Ubisoft has been busy developing other major titles and focusing heavily on open-world RPGs, but despite the long silence, there are still clear plans to revive the Splinter Cell franchise. So, today, let's talk about everything we currently know about the Splinter Cell remake, the possibility of future games, and what we can realistically expect from the franchise going into 2026 and beyond. It now looks increasingly likely that 2026 is going to be a massive year for Splinter Cell, particularly when it comes to development progress on the remake. Ubisoft has already confirmed that the Splinter Cell remake is being developed by Ubisoft Toronto, the same studio that worked on Splinter Cell Blacklist. The game is being rebuilt entirely from the ground up using Ubisoft's Snowdrop engine, meaning this is not a simple remaster. This is a full remake of the original Splinter Cell, modernized for current generation hardware. Ubisoft has stated that the goal is to preserve the identity of the original game while...
Yeah, this remake was announced like back in 2021. I remember that the game director left and they got someone else, and now I heard that he came back, which is kind of good, but still, it's just like a lot of people thought this was going to be revealed back in 2024 because the Ubisoft Toronto, they changed their profile to the Splinter Cell goggles. And it was right before the Ubisoft Forward event, so a lot of people thought we were going to get a reveal or like a teaser trailer of the game, and literally crickets.
updating the experience for modern players. That likely means smoother controls, improved animations, refined stealth mechanics, and possibly some new quality of life features. However, Ubisoft has also made it clear that this remake will remain faithful to the slower, more tactical stealth gameplay that defined the early Splinter Cell titles. The Splinter Cell remake was officially announced back in 2021, which means it has already been in development for several years. Because of that, there's a strong possibility that the game could release some.
So that's 5 years. I remember when games used to take like 2 to 3 years to make. Like I remember when Watch Dogs 1 came out. Watch Dogs 1 came out in 2014. Watch Dogs 2 came out in 2016. The Division 1 came out in 2016. The Division 2 came out in 2019. Like now games are taking like 5-6 years just to get a freaking sequel. Like, I don't know, man. I feel like resources are. I just want to know like where these resources are being put in terms of making games nowadays.
Sometime in late 2026, or potentially slip into early 2027 if Ubisoft decides it needs more time. This timing also makes sense when you consider Ubisoft's wider release schedule. Ubisoft's next major launch is expected to be the Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake, that which is reportedly targeting March 23rd. On top of that, Ubisoft still has other Assassin's Creed projects lined up, which means they'll likely want to space out their biggest releases. If you want more details on Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed plans, I've already covered that in a separate video which you can find linked in the pinned comment. One of the most exciting aspects of the Splinter Cell remake is the use of the Snowdrop engine. We've already seen what this engine is capable of in recent Ubisoft titles like...
I have my opinions about the Snowdrop engine. Like yeah, I know they use it to make the Division, but I don't know. I don't think it's the best, especially with Division 2. Like, I don't know how we went from Division 1 to Division 2 in terms of the look. Like, I think a lot of people agree that Division 1 looks way better than Division 2. I don't know. It's probably because of the setting. Because New York, the way they did New York looked really good. Obviously, they used it with Star Wars Outlaws, and I think they used it with that Avatar game, I believe. So, I don't know. I wish they used something else.
Star Wars Outlaws and Avatar. Frontiers of Pandora, both of which showcased impressive lighting, environmental detail, and atmospheric visuals. Lighting, in particular, is expected to play a major role in the remake. Since light and shadow are core mechanics in Splinter Cell, the Snowdrop engine should allow Ubisoft to push stealth gameplay further than ever before. Dynamic shadows, realistic light sources, and more reactive environments could significantly enhance immersion. Ubisoft has also released several pieces of concept art, giving us a glimpse of how the remake might look. These images suggest a darker, more grounded tone which aligns perfectly with what long-time fans want from the franchise. Now, let's talk about the future beyond the first remake. A potential Splinter Cell 2 remake will almost certainly depend on how well the first remake performs, both critically and commercially. We've seen this approach work extremely well with franchises like Resident Evil, where strong sales and positive reception encourage Capcom to continue remaking multiple entries. If the first Splinter Cell remake is successful, there's a very real chance Ubisoft will move forward with remakes of Splinter Cell, Pandora Tomorrow, and Chaos Theory, especially considering how beloved those games are within the community. Ubisoft appears to be testing the waters here, and if fan response is strong, the franchise could finally get the revival it deserves.
Ubisoft is in hot water right now. Like, what they did with Assassin's Creed Shadows, like, they're in hot water right now. So they have to, the next couple of games that Ubisoft releases, they have to be hits. They have to be. Meaning, you have to start listening to what the fans want. 2, you have to get developers that know what the fuck they're doing and they care about the industry, about the gaming industry, and they want to literally entertain people and not fucking preach to them. Splinter Cell is a fucking covert ops game. You know, Black Ops, all that shit. I don't want to fucking enter a game being preached to. And I really hope they don't go the route in terms of how they did that Splinter Cell animated series on Netflix. I really hope they don't go that route. I think a lot of people hope they do not go that route, because at the end of the day, people want to play as fucking Sam Fisher. It all depends on the reveal trailer. Whenever they reveal it, like I said, if it's not Sam Fisher in the forefront, if it's someone else in the forefront and Sam Fisher is like in the back, like a sidekick, or like you hardly get to use him, then the game's DOA. I'm telling you that right now, game is DOA if they go that route.
In addition to remakes, there are also rumors of a Splinter Cell Blacklist Remastered Edition, particularly for the Nintendo Switch. This information comes from leaker Resniakin, who cited a Brazilian YouTube channel claiming that Nintendo has been approaching third-party developers to bring older Ubisoft titles to the Switch. According to these reports, Splinter Cell Blacklist is one of the games being considered for a remaster. Alongside Blacklist, other Ubisoft titles reportedly being discussed include Rayman 3, Driver 1 and 2, and 2 additional unannounced games. If true, this would give Nintendo Switch players access to some of Ubisoft's classic catalog, which is something fans have been asking for years. While nothing is officially confirmed yet, this strategy would make a lot of sense, especially as Ubisoft looks to monetize older franchises while rebuilding interest in them. Personally, I would love to see Ubisoft return to its classic era, when franchises like Splinter Cell and Ghost Recon were at the forefront of tactical and stealth-focused gameplay. These games helped define Ubisoft as a publisher, and many fans still consider them some of the best titles the company has ever produced. There's clearly still a strong demand for grounded, stealth-driven experiences, and Splinter Cell has the potential to fill that space once again if Ubisoft handles it correctly. So overall, while we still don't have a confirmed release date, the future of Splinter Cell is looking more promising than it has in over a decade. With the remake in active development, rumors of remasters, and the possibility of future remakes, 2026 could mark the true return of Sam Fisher. But now I want to hear from you. Do you think Ubisoft can successfully revive Splinter Cell? And would you like to see full remakes of Chaos Theory and other classic entries? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe for more gaming news and updates.
I really hope they do this remake justice. I've been hearing some rumors that they want to try to make this for like a more modern audience. I don't know if people are confusing that with the modern technology, but I really hope they don't go that route. But then again, it's fucking Ubisoft, so don't get your hopes up. I mean, my hopes are already low for the next Ghost Recon game, which is the next video I want to play right now.
Ubisoft has been in the news for all the wrong things recently, like they usually do. Anyway, they cancel projects here and there, they delay some, they use AI here and there, but some...
I don't know why the video keeps pausing like that.
Ubisoft has been in the news for all the wrong things recently, like they usually do anyway. They cancel projects here and there, they delay some, they use AI here and there. But some rather good news came out of this, and it's thanks to industry insiders. Thanks to them, they gave us more details on the new Ghost Recon games and why it's not cancelled. Because Ubisoft is counting on this one to succeed. Like the next Assassin's Creed and Far Cry games, this next Ghost Recon game has been said to be Ubisoft's last straw before the company kills itself completely and go bankrupt. Don't mind me, I'd actually love to see Ubisoft fall forever, but I'd also like to see their final take on Ghost Recon. The next Ghost Recon is quietly becoming one of the most interesting projects Ubisoft has in development, largely because it appears to be moving in a direction the company has spent years avoiding. Now, before we get into it, keep in mind everything you see on screen is not from the new Ghost Recon, as we do not have any gameplay footage yet, but from games like Grey Zone Warfare and such. According to multiple insiders, including one with a solid track record on Ubisoft projects, the next mainline Ghost Recon has remained in active development despite the publisher's recent wave of cancellations, delays, and internal restructuring. While several high-profile projects were shelved or pushed back, Ghost Recon reportedly continued forward without interruption, placing it alongside Assassin's Creed as one of the franchises Ubisoft is...
Yeah, so I remember when they released, I think it was back in like 2022, they released like a photo of the franchises that Ubisoft wants to continue to pursue, and Ghost Recon was one of them. I think it was Ghost Recon, Assassin's Creed, Rainbow Six, and there was another one. I forgot the other franchises they wanted to push. But those are some of the franchises that they want to keep pursuing. Most likely it's because of the franchises that make them money and the reason why the company is successful. But this project has been in development for a very long time. I think We've been hearing things about this ever since back like in 2021, 2022. Because Ghost Recon Breakpoint was a huge failure for them. Again, I don't know how the fuck they went that. I don't know why they went that route. Like they literally had a prior successful game that brought a lot of people back to the franchise, which was Ghost Recon Wildlands. Even with this new game, in terms of how it's structured, it's really dumb. Because, like I said, what they did with Ghost Recon Wildlands was a huge success, in my opinion, with both the story mode and the online gameplay. I don't know why they're going in a weird direction now, especially with this game. Like, we're hearing that the game's going to be first person, which, again, I think the third person play style is one of the main reasons why people gravitate towards Ghost Recon. And again, this is a tactical shooter, so I don't know how that's going to really work in first person. Even though they do it in Rainbow Six Siege, I feel like Rainbow Six Siege is like that for a reason. And for them doing it with Ghost Recon, I feel like it loses its image, in my opinion. Even though Ghost Recon did start out as a first-person game, but when it went third-person, I feel like that's when it got its identity by doing that. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm not a fan of the first-person concept. I liked how in the game, when you shoot, it goes to Ironside's first-person. So, but this, I don't know. I don't think this is a good move, in my opinion, in terms of the game being fully first-person. I really wish that they kept it third person. I was hoping that it was going to be both first and third person swap, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case for this game.
Still willing to protect. What's emerging from these leaks is not a continuation of Wildlands or Breakpoint, but a near total reinvention. They had it really great with Wildlands, but they reportedly switched the flip and overhauled the gameplay completely from 0 to 10. This legit industry insider who's leaked
So they're restarting it again. So Wildlands was, from what I heard, was like a little reboot of the series, and now they're rebooting it again. Like, again. Breakpoint really fucked up this franchise, man. I don't know why they just can't continue off from where Wildlands ended. I don't know why they're rebooting it again.
Multiple Ubisoft things in the past has said this new game won't look at all like the newest Ghost Recon games, nor any of the other games in this series. The game is reportedly set primarily in modern-day Vietnam, with additional locations in other parts of the world.
So that's new. So before, it was going to be like, the rumor was it was going to be like in a fictional country in Asia. Now it's confirmed that it's going to be in Vietnam. So that's interesting. And I think it was like a war going on, like a civil war going on. Is that going to be still the case? Is it going to be like a civil war happening in Vietnam?
World. It was previously said to be happening during the fictional Nai Man War in Asia, but we now know it'll mostly take place in Vietnam. Vietnam is described as the core environment rather than a single region or narrative arc. Dense jungle terrain, rural villages, rivers, and urban fringes will dominate much of the map design. The environment is not structured around player convenience. Visibility is limited, traversal is slower, and sound plays a much larger role in moment-to-moment decision making. This setting alone suggests a very different pacing. Jungle environments naturally reduce sightlines and remove the long-range dominance that defined earlier Ghost Recon gameplay. Movement becomes cautious, engagements happen suddenly, mistakes are harder to undo. Combined with modern military hardware and present-day geopolitical framing, the tone leans far more grounded than the fictionalized conflict zones of previous entries. The most dramatic reported change is perspective. The next Ghost Ghost Recon is said to be fully first person. That would mark a complete break from the third person identity the series has carried since its earliest entries. A first person camera fundamentally changes how players interpret space, threat, and consequence. Information becomes limited, situational awareness narrows, combat becomes more intimate and less forgiving. Insiders describe the gameplay as brutal and unsettling rather than empowering. Mission design reportedly draws inspiration from games like Ready or Not and the rebooted Call of Duty Modern Warfare titles. Operations are structured around uncertainty rather than freedom. Players may enter environments without full knowledge of enemy numbers, layouts, or potential outcomes. Engagements are said to escalate quickly, with few safety nets once things go wrong. Combat itself is described as harsh and fast.
This is what I'm talking about. Like, in terms of what they're doing, like, I don't know why it's going to be primarily first person. Like, for what this is, like, third person makes sense because you need to see around your environment. Like, it's one of the main reasons why I love this game. Why I love Ghost Recon, the franchise. But now it's just like, I don't know if I'm going to play this one. I don't know. I really don't know if I'm going to play this one. I don't know, because the third person switch is a big thing for me. I don't know. That was one of the main selling points why I love the franchise in the first place. First person, I don't know. And then I don't like the fact that they're trying to trying to get inspiration from the Ready or Not game and Warzone. Like, I think that's a dumb idea. Like, again, Wildlands was the perfect template that they should have used for the Ghost Recon franchise. Like, they killed it with that game, in my opinion. Like, that was a solid game.
Weapons are lethal. Enemies react aggressively to sound, movement, and visual cues. There's little room for error, and encounters can end abruptly if players rush or misread situations. Rather than rewarding constant aggression, the design reportedly favors restraint, planning, and controlled execution. From other recent leaks, mission variety appears to focus on grounded objectives: clearing hostile compounds, navigating populated villages, securing high-value targets, extracting under pressure, and operating in low light conditions are all reportedly common scenarios. Choices made during missions can change how situations unfold. Squad mechanics are also being reconsidered. While Ghost Recon has always been associated with team-based operations, early descriptions suggest less emphasis on micromanaging AI teammates and more focus on player positioning and decision making. Whether this means smaller teams, reduced squad presence, or more autonomous AI remains unclear, but it points to a shift away from the heavily scripted squad commands seen in previous entries. Visually, the game is set to adopt a restrained
Yeah, again, it doesn't feel like Ghost Recon at this point. At this point, this is more like Rainbow Six, in my opinion. This is not Ghost Recon anymore.
Presentation. Color palettes lean muted. Lighting emphasizes shadow and contrast. Weather and foliage obscure threats rather than decorate the environment. Vietnam's climate and terrain are reportedly central to this, with rain, humidity, and dense vegetation shaping both visibility and movement. All of this sounds promising, but it's impossible to discuss a Ubisoft project in 2026 without skepticism. Ubisoft's recent history is filled with ambitious concepts undermined by corporate design mandates. Systems get softened, tension gets diluted, difficulty gets flattened in the name of accessibility. The company has repeatedly struggled to commit fully to realism when it conflicts with broader market appeal. There's also the wider context of Ubisoft's current instability. Project cancellations, delays, layoffs, and a growing reliance on AI-assisted development have eroded trust among players. Even if Ghost Recon begins as a focused, hardcore tactical shooter, the risk of compromise is real. Monetization layers, progression systems, or difficulty smoothing could be introduced later in development to broaden appeal. That's where the caution comes in. On paper, a first-person Vietnam-set Ghost Recon built around brutal, realistic missions sounds like the course correction fans have been asking for.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. Because, like I said, I really, really feel like they should have stuck with the original script. Like, again, Wildlands was the perfect template, in my opinion. Wildlands was the perfect template. I don't know why they decided to move away from this. I don't think it's a smart idea. Like, they had the template perfectly with Wildlands. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see when this game comes out. There's still no release date for this and Splinter Cell, so we have no idea when these games are going to be coming out. But yeah, man, like I just don't know, man. I don't know what's happening with gaming anymore. But yeah, man. I don't know how I feel about the first person. Man, I'm just not a fan of it. I wish they just stuck with the third person. I feel like it would have been better if they allowed you to switch between third and first person. Like, if you want to play in first person, if you want to play in third person. I feel like if the game did that, then I feel like they would have had something. I feel like they would have had something really special.
For years. In practice, Ubisoft has a habit of starting strong and finishing safe. Whether this project is allowed to remain uncompromising through to release is still unknown. At the same time, the fact that Ubisoft appears willing to let Ghost Recon diverge this far from its recent formula is notable. This isn't a small tweak or a cosmetic reboot. It's a structural redesign that risks alienating parts of the existing audience in exchange for something more focused and intense. If Ubisoft follows through, this could become the most distinctive Ghost Recon entry in decades. If it doesn't, it risks becoming another example of a promising idea flattened by corporate caution. Right now, the project sits in that narrow space between genuine potential and a familiar disappointment. The ingredients are there, the direction is clear, execution, as always with Ubisoft, is the unanswered question. Ghost Recon has spent the last two entries trying to be everything at once. Huge maps, endless icons, gear scores, looter mechanics that never fully worked. This new direction looks like an admission that formula failed. Reports suggest the world design is far more restrained, less checklist gameplay.
Well, the one thing I will give Breakpoint is that Breakpoint, like, they gave you the option where you can, like, play the game, like, realistically, like, no mini map. You know, you have to keep an eye on your stamina. If you get injured, you'll start, like, limping. You have to, like, actually, like, look for medical stuff to, like, heal yourself. You lose bullets, so you have to, like, take bullets off of dead people or caches. Like, I feel like what they did with Breakpoint, it was really good in terms of the final update they did for the game. I thought that was really good.
Fewer distractions, environments built to serve tension, not scale. Vietnam as a primary setting supports that shift. Jungle warfare doesn't lend itself to constant fast travel, vehicle hopping, or casual gunfights. Movement is slower, lines of sight are broken constantly, sound travels unpredictably, every step risks exposure. That naturally forces a different mindset, one Ubisoft hasn't leaned into for years. There's also talk that missions are structured with limited information by design. Players aren't always briefed with perfect intel. Maps aren't fully revealed. Objectives can evolve mid-operation based on what happens on the ground. Anyway, if you guys would like to see more on this game, make sure to drop a like and let me know your thoughts in the comments.
If they were smart, they would if Ubisoft was smart, they would make the game evolve with the map. Like, the map would evolve at each time you sign on. I feel like if they were smart, they should do something like that. I always kept saying, I think games would be better if they did stuff like that. Yeah. The last thing I want to look at is I want to look at a couple of games from the PlayStation State of Play that I'm interested to see. One that a lot of people have been talking about that nobody saw fucking coming was this John Wick game. So it's finally happening. They're finally making a John Wick game. Hold on. my mouse? What happened to my mouse? Okay. So yeah, they're finally making a John Wick game. My thing about this is I feel like it would be better if they made like an origin game of him. Because a lot of people have been saying like they want to see like that impossible task that he did, that the Russian mob boss talked about in the first movie. I feel like a prequel game about that takes place before the movies would be good. I feel like a lot of people would play the fuck out of that.
A man with your skill set must be able to move unconstrained, unrestricted.
This is not a game for this is just some cinematic cuts.
He must be versatile, capable, adaptable.
Yeah, these are just some cinematic cutscenes that they're showing. They are going to show some gameplay, right?
He must be grounded, stable, constant. I believe you are ready, sir.
Yeah. And this is the actual game. Like I said, I feel like if this game takes place before the first movie, I feel like that's something a lot of people would want, in my opinion. Unless they're gonna write and do their own thing. Another game I want to look at is this Project Windless. I don't know what this. I don't know what this game is, but this thing looks nuts.
We are the children of water, born of a goddess. You filthy creatures, faithless, soulless, unclean. This world was never yours.
This game looks really interesting.
How dare you stand in the way of purity, little king?
Main character's the fucking chicken, man. Looks like chicken with Kratos because of the colors. Yeah, it looks like chicken Kratos because of the colors. Bro, this game looks so fucking nuts. I remember watching this, I'm just like, what the fuck is this? It's pretty big too. This chicken's pretty big. This dude is literally, it's literally Chicken Kratos. I will play the fuck out of this game. I will 100% play the fuck out of this game. It doesn't look like this game's coming out anytime soon. It looks like it's still in development. I will probably say maybe late next year, but I will play the fuck out of that game. That shit looks so fucking good, bro. Holy shit, bro. Like, bro, it's literally... This is literally Chicken Kratos. Like, if Kratos from God of War got turned into a chicken, this is literally what it is. Like, I want to go through this a bit. Like, bro, like, this shit looks so clean, bro. Like, don't get me wrong, I kind of wish it was like a wolf rather than a chicken, but, bro, like, I don't care. Like, bro, this shit looks like, look at this, bro. This shit is fucking nuts, man. I can't tell if he's, like, fighting, like, humans or, like, other animal, humanoid people. This shit looks really good. This shit looks really good, man. Is this game made in the West? It seemed like it said a Canadian studio, so... looks like Western Gaming's trying to get back into the good graces of everyone. But this shit looks fucking amazing, man. Like, look at this shit, man. But yeah, man. Yeah, so alright, so it is humans. Alright, okay. Yeah, man, this game looks fucking nuts. This shit looks fucking nuts. Yep, I'm gonna keep an eye on this shit. Probably not gonna get to play this for, I'll say probably like maybe like another year and a half, up to 2 years. But yeah. Next game I want to look at is Resident Evil. So when it comes to Resident Evil, I am a normie. I never got into Resident Evil at all. Like, the closest thing I got to it was watching the movies that came out back in the day. I never got into Resident Evil in terms of the games. Like, I never played any of the games. I do see some people playing them. Like, I remember that one Resident Evil game with the tall, big witch. I remember seeing people play that game. But, yeah, I never got into Resident Evil. But, I don't know. I think if I have to start this franchise, I probably have to start with, like, the first game. I don't think I could start off with this one. I just want to play because this one does look good, and a lot of people have been talking about it.
That's 6 now. 6 survivors of Raccoon City, all dead from the same thing.
Yeah, that's not good. Victor purchased a building after Umbrella went under. The Rhodes Hill Chronic Care Center.
I thought the skeleton was about to stop moving.
You okay? What does Victor want with you?
What do you mean?
He grabbed you for a reason. Did you find anything on Elvis?
So in this game, you can switch, from what I heard, you can switch from first person to third person. And you can play between 2 perspectives, him and the female character.
Not yet. Nothing on the servers at the CIA or the Pentagon.
You are an ignorant fool.
Leon, we're running out of time.
Why me?
The team has settled on a person of interest. A former T-virus researcher.
Because my master made you who you are. Raccoon City was where it all began for me.
I'm coming with you.
We can talk. What do you want to know?
I don't want any more regrets. Whatever it takes, count me in.
It's been a while since you've been back there.
I don't think they... Did they show a release date for this? I don't think they did yet.
Yeah.
Oh, it's coming out... Oh, it's coming out next week. It's next week, right? Is that next week? Yeah, it's coming out next week. Oh. Oh, okay. Those guys coming out for everything. Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, the Switch. Like I said, I don't think I can play this game first. Like I'll have to like play like the previous games, see what's going on with that first. And I think the last game I wanted to show was Beast of Reincarnation. Hold on. Let me see if I can sift through it on here. Oh no, it's not pausing.
I sense suffering.
Last game I wanted to show was... So I think for this game it actually has a release date. Yeah, Beast of Reincarnation. This game I'm definitely gonna play. Definitely gonna play.
本題だ、巡回兵。任務は分かっているか。
主の発見と討伐。
そうだ。
Music kind of reminds me of one of the tracks from Stellar Blade.
まさか進化したのか。
Definitely getting this game. It's coming on August, yeah. Definitely getting this game. Definitely getting that, and I'm gonna play the shit out of that game. I want to show one last video from Monte Sensei. He made a good video about what's happening in the industry right now, and I think I should play it. Let's see if I'm able to play it.
Anime live adaptations are really not for me because personally, anime is a medium that I uniquely enjoy on its own. Anime live adaptations are really not for me because personally, anime is a medium that I uniquely enjoy on its own. When I watch it, it doesn't even cross my mind to think, man, I can't wait for this to be adapted. There's so much potential here. For one, of course, it's due to the travesties made in the past. I'm sure many can relate. But in recent years, it's mainly due to the purposeful, disrespectful handling of these properties. Like these stories and characters don't belong to an actual creator who dedicated themselves to this, but only see these stories.
To this day, I do not understand how Netflix like failed the Death Note. Like it's fucking Death Note. Like Death Note is one of the easiest anime to live actions you can adapt. Like even though I'm not a fan of live action series of animes unless it's done in Japan, like Death Note is so fucking easy. Like that is the easiest thing you can do. Like the only CGI you have to do is the well, yeah, it used to be like CGI special effects is a Shimigami, Ryuku. Like everything, like bro, like Death Note is so easy. I don't get how you can fail that.
As opportunities to forward their selfish desires in some way that manifest in many aspects, but for this video, we're going to focus on the overt, obvious swapping of characters, whether it's race, gender, or sexual orientation.
Hold on to your butts.
Some of you know Cowboy Bebop is in my top 5, with Spike being one of my favorite characters. And when it got announced that Netflix was making a live action of it, it didn't really excite me because I had predictions that turned out to be true of it. I knew they were going to find some way to intentionally butcher it, starting with Faye Valentine, a personal waifu of mine. Besides getting the outfit wrong, which is highly iconic and should have been a basic 101 for the character, making their excuses like, it's not realistic, which I realize is an excuse that's only made for women characters, but I'll touch on that in another video. They got her character depiction wrong. And of course, they made her gay, which isn't lore at all and is easily disproven, but that doesn't matter to these politically correct types. This was just an opportunity for some activist shipper to get their fantasy off. They also ruined Vicious, one of my favorite villains in anime, having a cool, calm demeanor, speaking in low yet intimidating tones, so it actually means something when he raises his voice.
The blood of a beast who wanders, hunting for the blood of others. I've bled all that kind of blood away. Then why are you still alive?
So it was infuriating when I see what they did to him by turning him into a fucking man baby, which makes me think I should also add character personality swaps to the list. Because to them, anything that doesn't fit into their politically correct religious activist beliefs equals bad. Completely disrespectful and shows the activists don't create, they only infiltrate. They only see pieces of art, entertainment, stories as tools and nothing more. And Netflix, or Hollywood as a whole, shows no signs of stopping, and I'll get to Vivi later. I recently stated in a live stream that for a while now, I've had a hardline stance of not supporting movies that go out of their way to do the character swaps, all for the sake of DEI, which is like a religion to those that sees character accuracy as some type of original sin, to the point that a white actress being casted for...
Yeah, I've seen this the other day too. Like, this was just so... Like Rapunzel is white. I don't understand why people got so upset about this. Like, it was just really stupid to me.
With the white character entangled is deemed offensive somehow in making the headlines. And with Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey soon to be released, Lupita being casted as Helen of Troy is an odd...
And this is another race swap I just made. But then again, I'm hearing that this movie has a lot of race swaps in it. So this is like, obviously this is like one of the big major ones, but it just makes no sense. Like, The Odyssey is Greek mythology. Greek mythology is majority white. Like, there were no other races in Greek mythology during that time period. Like, I just don't get it. But I kind of see why he's doing this. I feel like he's doing this because he bent the knee. Because I don't know if you noticed, but in order to be qualified for the Academy Award, there's like a lot of qualifications now that these movie directors have to follow now. obviously you have to have you have to have a certain number of representation, all that weird shit, and it's just like at this point, like the Academy getting, I mean, awards shows now are just meaningless now, honestly. But yeah, just to be a part of the Academy Awards, you have to like you have to like check certain boxes, and it's just stupid.
Obvious nod to these politically correct types. Now Lupita, she is a good actress, and also shout out to that lip sync battle of hers, but this is obvious DEI casting having me agreeing with Elon. Christopher Nolan has lost his integrity. And I hate to say that because Nolan was my favorite filmmaker for a lot of years. Even going through his catalog, watching his early work showcasing his talent for storytelling was damn near destined. And I hate to see that someone like him has been corrupted by the bubble that is Hollywood. Always describe it as a black hole that eventually sucks you in, or a nuclear plant that is spent enough time around you're soon to catch cancer from, which in this case the cancer is political correctness, and have you making these type of decisions while convinced they were actually your decisions to begin with and not something you've been conditioned into making by others around you. I've said in a previous video that political correctness, or woke, which is like a mutation of political correctness, is the antithesis of art. It destroys art, gets in the way, a distraction, takes you out of it. Whenever it's introduced into art, it turns that art into propaganda, only to appease someone's activist sensibilities rather than staying true to the artistic vision of something. It acts as a hindrance to art, preventing it from being all that it could be. And I've become sick of the cat and mouse.
I agree. Because like I said before, like Hollywood, they're making most of the content that comes out nowadays, it's too safe. Like, they're making content that's too safe. Everything has the same story, the same plot, same type of characters, the same jokes. Like, again, we used to be creative, man. Like, we used to be creative. Now movies are just like, movies are easy to read nowadays.
Game that Hollywood plays with the viewers, where they give you 70% of what you want while sneaking in 30% of what they want.
Give people stuff you know they want, so you can inject things that maybe they aren't familiar with, or maybe they don't know they want.
I feel like nowadays it's half and half. I feel like they were doing that before, I would say like maybe the beginnings of 2020. Now it's like half and half, especially like during, I feel like the height of this was like 2022, like the height of that. Like it's like literally half and half.
But make them like that stuff.
What happened, my nigga?
Activist bullshit, which I will no longer contribute to, because I feel like I would be buying into the lie that if a cast lacks any type of diversity at all, that's somehow bad or evil, a belief that's been socially conditioned into the public full of zombies now. And how I see it is that these properties that these activists get a hold of, this is someone's life's work you've been handed and granted with. It's not yours, but only your responsibility to do it justice. Respect the time and effort.
That's why it's very important for any aspiring creator, independent creators, to stay in control of your properties. Do not sign away your properties, man. Do not sign them away, because they will butcher your art.
The creator took to come up with these stories and character designs. I don't care how small, unknown, not as popular they may be, that doesn't give you an automatic pass to do whatever you feel with them, justifying it by thinking, well, most people don't know this character, so who cares? Well, there's someone somewhere out there that was their favorite character. They grew up on them, knowing the lore, the motivations, visiting the store every so often to buy the new release or issue, debating with other fans, but was always met with, yeah, but your favorite character nobody cares about, forcing them to defend them regardless. Then when it gets announced, there will be a live action adaptation of their favorite character, reboot, remaster.
And I hate when they bring up that excuse. Like, the excuse is, oh, not a lot of people know about the character, so it's okay for the race. So I was just like, no, like, it makes no sense. Even when they say it's just a different race, there's nothing wrong with the character. And so if nothing was wrong with the character, why did you change the race? And then they'll never want to answer. They'll always try to dodge it, use other things to answer it, and they'll start name calling you everything in the book just to dehumanize you.
whatever, they get excited, but then realize that the casting looks nothing like them, or their personality is changed, the lore is altered for a modern audience. But again, to the higher ups, they think, who cares, because most people don't even know this character anyways. Then when this eventually expands to more mainstream characters and stories, people get surprised and upset, thinking it would never happen to their favorite character or property they grew up with. But one thing I've learned is that once you allow a little bit of it, you will soon get a lot of it. Message! And what I hate worse is when longtime fans support these changes, edits, censorship, etc. For instance, with a new Dragon Quest remake being released, they censored another character design from the late great legendary Akira Toriyama, because the feminine woman physique and beauty is like kryptonite to these folks, also having censored others from different remakes as well. And on behalf of these disrespectful parasites,
I think the creator of Dragon Age, they had an interview and he literally said that after they made those changes, he literally asked the question like, who in the West is complaining about this? And I agree with him. It's just like, no one is complaining about this. No actual fans of these properties are complaining about this. It's mostly the people who license out these games, or these localizers, or this small niche fan base that doesn't even like the property. They just want to input their own personal beliefs into something. Like, those are the type of people that are complaining about this. And again, it's just like, why are we enabling this insanity in our entertainment? Like, we need to focus on what's important. And what's important is the fans and making money. That's what's important. No one gives a shit about your fucking feelings. It's like, and it's fiction. Like, who cares?
Allow me to apologize to Toriyama. I'm sorry that your legacy is only seen as a tool to these freaks and activists and will tarnish it every chance they get. But what's even more disgusting is when fans themselves will encourage and allow this. The censored version does look better though, even from a non-prudish perspective. Oh no, she isn't wearing a thong anymore as a chibi character in a game. How will we ever cope? To me, these are the worst kind. What I compare these type of quote-unquote fans to, and this may be offensive to some, are cucked men. To me, if you're the fan who encourages or excuses this type of shit regardless of property, you're just the same as them in my eyes. It's the same as a cuck saying, I don't care if my wife sleeps around with the whole neighborhood, better yet, the whole town. I'm secure in my masculinity. It's you that is insecure because you won't allow her to do such.
I did things in bed with you that I haven't done with anyone since.
No, you're a lucky dog.
It's true.
Every night her getting gangbang is like music to my ears. What's the big fuss about? That's what these types sound like to me. Cucked out fans and should never be taken seriously.
You get back here, you make love to my wife!
You know, I remember growing up in the 90s having shows and movies that were already diverse and actually good and entertaining, and it just seemed natural and wasn't being force-fed to the public. It's something that was organically happening on its own. But these activists make it seem like it's something that was never happening and now need them to achieve this. But in return, they've only seemed to make everything worse, to the point where original characters that already fit what they're going for are being forgotten, like with this tweet referring to a scene from Black Panther. Remembered leaving the theater feeling so empowered after watching this peak movie. Black Panther was the first black superhero solo movie ever.
Really?
No, it wasn't.
With someone responding obviously with Blade, you done lost your cotton picking mind.
Damn straight.
Hence, activists making it worse as they always do, with memes of people mocking the obvious Netflix and overall Hollywood swaps these politically correct types are so obsessed with. Now, as I tackle this topic of Vivi and the One Piece live action, I want to make it clear, I had the utmost respect for Oda. This doesn't come from a place of hate or anywhere close to that. One Piece isn't my favorite anime, but it's still something I enjoy, and recognize what is done overall for the medium. Now, I rationalized my position on this casting choice in another video, but to sum it up basically, I pointed out the obvious aiming towards
So he goes into, he talks about that, the One Piece thing, but I will end it there for now. Appreciate you guys joining me on the live stream. Really appreciate it. I'm going to be doing a drawing stream tomorrow, probably tomorrow afternoon. I haven't been drawing this weekend. I'm going to start do some drawing tomorrow. But thank you guys for joining me. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. This is the Way Blur, and I am signing out.